Our officials tonight, Chad Barlow, Luke Schumer, and Kevin Raher. Ball State's in the whites, Miami's in the reds, and the Redbird rivalry is off and running from Muncie. Thanks for spending your Tuesday night with us here on ESPN. Miami has the first possession, and it's Peter Suter, the junior out of Carmel, Indiana, who has been lethal all season long for this Miami team, scoring 83 points per game, tops in the Mid-American Conference.
Cardinals start out in man-to-man, what they play most often. Mason Jones the assignment on Peter Suter.
And you have to love that for Ball State. Already Jones stealing one away from Miami. Here's Hill.
On the other end, you've got Suter, number 5, guarding the Cardinals' leading scorer right there, Jamari Fat Hill.
Hill's in a double team. 8 to shoot. Hill dancing around, creating. He's whacked by Kraft, and it's a block.
Good job of contesting there without fouling. That was important. Suter did not want to pick up one so early.
Here's our McGuff Roofing starting lineup for Miami. We talked about Suter, and here he goes with the three-pointer off the mark, but Cam Kraft is also one of the leading scorers at 15.5 points per game. And the starters for Ball State, it's been the same rotation for now the last 5 games for head coach Michael Lewis, brought to you in part by McGuff Roofing. Both offenses scoreless, a couple of trips down. 5 to shoot for Gorosito. Leaves it for Hendricks, who's short.
Good defensive sequence that time by the Red Hawks. Cardinals never got it inside the paint that whole possession.
That could change here. Payton Sparks about to check in early. Left-handed scoop from Antoine Woolfolk, a junior from Cleveland, Ohio. First in the Mid-American Conference in field goal percentage. He gets a lot in the rim area.
Yeah, that's right, Mick. He averages 62% shooting. You can see why. Great footwork, good use of the left hand.
They'll see a couple of double teams early on. Down the shot clock again to 7. All 3 possessions, Ball State's been inside 10 seconds. Jones wiggling toward the rim, and a rebound for Kraft.
Well, Travis Steele's been looking for the defense. He knows they're going to score every night, but those first 3 possessions, you can't ask for anything more if you're a Red Hawk coach.
Coach Steele said, we love our offense. It's the defense, and now here goes Hendricks trying to take it himself, and he's going to the free throw line. And Hendricks is down.
Boy, Hendricks holding that left ankle. You know, Woolfolk, that was just tried to prevent the layup. If we've seen anybody bounce back from injuries, it's been Ben Hendricks. He's going to try to shake it off.
I remember down in Florida where he was helped off the court, and then 6 minutes later he came back into the game and was jumping around behind the bench. So he's played plenty of times through injury.
Well, look, that's not that's a smart play by Woolfolk. Make him earn it at the charity stripe.
Looks like his foot got caught.
Hendricks, 76% free throw shooter on the year, 13 of 17. Good job by the officials there, just giving Ben a little extra time to gather himself. And Payton Sparks typically comes in around that first media timeout. Now with Hendricks kind of being a little gimpy, he's going to enter the game sooner.
And there's the first Ball State point, and the swap. Sparks settling into his role off the bench the last 5 weeks, by the last 5 games. Hendricks in that starting lineup. The rotations worked. It's up lead to 4 straight wins to Ball State, and now Hill nearly with a turnover where he has been so good.
Another great matchup. Fat Hill on the Xavier transfer, Cam Kraft, their leading scorer at 15 a game.
Makai Cooper lets it loose, and it is Ball State basketball. Both of these defenses are really holding their own.
Yeah, they are. I mean, that's why I would expect Payton Sparks to get a touch in this first offensive possession. Cardinals have not gotten any flow. Try to get the big fella a touch, work out of the double team.
You mentioned no flow so far, 0 for 3 from the field. Hill's taking one. Rebound from Ian Elmer, the sophomore from Cincinnati. Wolford, the jumper goes. Wolford known for hitting shots around the rim, but steps out there a little bit.
Yeah, really upped his production. Rutgers transfer, spent 2 years there, averaged 3 points a game, averaging 8 for the Red Hawks this season.
8 points and a team best 6 rebounds a game, and now Miami's forcing turnovers.
I'll tell you, the defense right now for the Red Hawks, every single possession, nothing has come easy for Ball State. Travis Steele has to love that.
Usually they can run out fast as Sparks kicks it, but Ball State's defense has slowed down Miami every time they try to come down the court off a turnover or rebound so far.
Yeah, no question about it. Who can get on track here after the first media timeout?
First media timeout's up next. Low-scoring affair in Muncie.
The bold Louisiana flavor and crispy crunch of Popeye's signature chicken is the meal your craving deserves. And now you can get 3 pieces for just $5 and make it a meal for only $3 more.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Okay, I'm gonna help you clean it, all right?
You could just watch ESPN, but why not tap in? Tap into peak fandom. Tap into who's hot, who's who, and who's got the takes. Tap into fast friends. Tap into the thing that becomes your thing, that becomes everything. Tap into an entire world of sports.
The Australian Open hits different on the networks of ESPN.
Mid-American Conference basketball on ESPN is brought to you in part by Ball State Financial, your hometown credit union. Reed's Plumbing, call the best, flush the rest. IU Health, get back in the game with expert orthopedic and sports medicine care in Muncie. And American Pest Professionals, tackle your pest problems with our Ball State special. Payton Sparks honored with his 1,000th point game ball before the tip-off of this game. Got it a couple of games ago against Anderson, such a deserving player, and we've seen him reap the benefits of what this team can be.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Look, he's rounding into form. He's averaged 25 minutes a game in the last couple, and if Payton Sparks is in the Cardinal lineup for 25 minutes plus, that bodes extremely well. One of the nation's leaders in field goal percentage, 4th in the country in fouls drawn, a difference maker.
In his last 3 games, 16.5 points and 15 of 19 from the field as Peter Suter's off the mark. And it's Ball State possession, but it's the efficiency in which Sparks is having right now. You said 25 minutes. He's hovering around 15-ish points in those 25 minutes.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You can't even just look at his point production. He draws so much attention with the double teams that he frees his teammates up, and he's very unselfish and will find them. Reese Potter, the 7'1" sophomore, in now for Woolfolk.
That'll be a battle with Potter and Sparks. Hill attacks and is short. Ball State's 0 for 5 from the field. Here's Evan Ipsaro just checking in, the sophomore from Crestview Hills, Kentucky. 3-ball from Potter. Suter tries to save it, and these offenses are kind of just all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, the Cardinals, you mentioned it, 0 for 5. Miami, they're 2 for 6, 0 for 3 from deep. Potter, even though it's 7-1, he can hit those, 7 of 20 on the season.
One point off a Ben Hendricks made free throw for Ball State so far.
Michael Lewis going to run a set play here. Good job, Ipsaro, staying connected to Gorosito, one of the Mac's leading three-point shooters.
Sparks taking it himself, rumbling and throwing it up, missing it long, and another rebound for Miami.
Well, that's just it, Mick. Cardinals have missed 6 shots and no offensive rebounds. Miami doing a good job finishing possessions.
Here's Kraft. It was only a matter of time before Cam Kraft got on the scoreboard, especially from distance. 44% from 3, hits his first.
You know, he can flat out light it up. Made 10 threes in a game earlier this season against Bethany.
Hernandez looking for the first field goal. Nothing doing. The tap around, and there is a whistle. Ball State possession.
What do we talk about, Mick, on keys to the game? Miami playing D without fouling. A couple of opportunities in and around the paint. Miami's done a good job contesting without picking up any fouls.
Yeah, just one Miami foul so far.
Cardinals average 27 free throw attempts a game. None thus far except for Hendricks' 2.
Hill draws that second foul.
I spoke too soon. Is that going to be on Suter? It is, so that's one to watch.
They do say that Hill was in a shooting motion.
We talked about Payton Sparks' proclivity to get to the line. Fat Hill actually leads the Mid-American Conference. This will be his 89th and 90th free throw attempts on the season.
And he's hitting at a 70% clip.
So put that in perspective, Mick. The combination of Sparks and Hill have made more free throws than the Red Hawks team combined.
63 for Hill after that miss, and 54 for Sparks. Sooner moves quickly. Skowjak off the mark.
Tell you, the Red Hawks struggling from deep. That was a pretty good look right there.
St. Paul State can take advantage still without a field goal 6 minutes in. Watts looking for that first field goal, and he buries it. Watts was hot last game, 2 of 2 from 3. Hit all 3 shots he took against Kent State. He's continuing that tonight.
Yeah, just great production off the bench against Kent State. You called it. Watts picking up right where he left off.
Suter throwing the shoulders against Gorosito and putting one home.
That's a big part of Suter's game at 6'5". Miami does a terrific job with spacing, giving Suter room to work in there.
You think 6'5", oh, we can handle him in the post, but he handles people.
Yeah, very strong 6'5". Good job playing off of 2 feet that time. Again, Miami doing a really good job keeping the Cardinals from getting into the paint.
And Hill's trying to get there and twirls one in.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to credit the offense. That was good defense by Suter. There's a reason Jamari Hill is one of the top scorers in the MAC.
Top 3 at 16.5 per game. Couple of buckets now for Ball State after missing their first 6. The foul on Watts.
Suter's going to break. You got the 12-minute media timeout coming up. Buy him a little extra rest. Bring Cam Croft back in.
One of those 2, if not both, will always be on the floor.
Yeah. Keep an eye for number 22 out there in red, Brant Byers. All he did in their game against Buffalo was go 6 for 6 from three-point land.
Byers in, running the baseline now, has it. Potter the shot fake, the drive against Sparks, and Sparks picks it up.
Potter did everything there but finish. 7 foot, put it on the deck, got to the rim, just couldn't make it.
Off to Sparks, up and under, and 1. Ball State ties it up.
Great pick and roll action there. You got to credit Jeremiah Hernandez.
Hernandez is just settling into the offense. Whatever he needs to do on a given possession, it feels like it's working.
Yeah, it really is. And again, Hernandez, one of 4 grad students on this Cardinal lineup. That's the most of any team in the entire NCAA. And where you really saw that, Mick, we talked about the game against Kent State. The Cardinals went with all the veterans down the stretch, and those guys didn't blink. When Kent was roaring back at the end, those guys kept their composure. That's why you hear coaches talk all the time about getting old and staying old. Cardinals certainly have that.
5-0 run for Ball State after Miami had jumped out to the early lead. Skaljak, the step back, and connects. The freshman from Ohio, averaging 6.5 points per game off the bench with a good stroke.
Just shooters everywhere you look for the Red Hawks. I mean, Skaljak averages 55% from three.
Sparks hits the deck, and he got the timeout in time. Or they called the travel first. It's a turnover, Ball State, before he could get the timeout. So Miami possession when we come back in a back and forth Mac tussle.
The bold Louisiana flavor and crispy crunch of Popeye's signature chicken is the meal your craving deserves. And now you can get 3 pieces for just $5 and make it a meal for only $3 more.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Listen up, hockey fans. NHL on ESPN Plus is back. The hardest hits, the dangles, and of course, the semis.
You gotta be kidding me! It's not real!
Enjoy every second of 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, marquee NHL events, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus. NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, marquee NHL events, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
Hey, college basketball fans.
Andrea Carter here.
Jay Billis here.
To remind you that your favorite teams and conferences
are on ESPN Plus.
If you love college basketball like me and the Bill Illustrator,
then it's time to get in the game and sign up to ESPN Plus.
You get a stellar slate of in-conference games,
including the Big 12, Atlantic 10, and many more.
That will feel like March.
We got to go to work.
Sign up now and catch your favorite teams.
1 point Miami lead. We saw Ben Hendricks leave the game a few minutes ago. Sam has more on that.
Yeah, just an update on Ben Hendricks, as you said, Mick. He went behind the bench as soon as he came off the floor, kind of massaged that ankle, had a talk with the training staff before they elected to go back into the locker room to have him get a closer look at that left ankle. He came back out with nothing added to the ankle, no brace or anything like that. He sat down for a couple of minutes, but in recent updates, he has been on and off the bike and doing some ankle stretches over behind the team bench. His return is questionable, but things look to be good right now compared to what the original injury looked like, fellas.
It's good news for Ball State as Joey Hart checks in for the first time today. Didn't play against Kent State, has the task of trying to guard Skaljak. And it's Kraft from 3. Off balance, doesn't matter.
Yeah, he just needs a little bit of space. Such a quick release. And look, Cam Kraft, he was a top 100 recruit when he got signed by Travis Steele to go to the Xavier Musketeers. Played 15 games there, had a knee injury, redshirted as a sophomore, and a huge get in the portal for the Red Hawks.
Watts can't connect. Sparks the own board, put back, yes.
There's a great example of the Red Hawks running on a make. They want to get it out and go. Right now, the tempo is favoring the Cardinals. It's a very low-scoring game.
Now a chance for Ball State to tie or take the lead back. Pearson. Hernandez looking for that lead. Another row board for the Cards. Seven to shoot. Pearson. Will short. And Wolford the rebound.
Cardinals now 1 of 5 from three-point land. Hernandez, the assignment on Kraft.
That's a tough assignment. And Hernandez picks it. Here he goes. Puts it home.
We talked about him on the outset. Just an X factor. Just terrific defense. Stayed connected to Kraft. Read the pass. The easy run out. 4 turnovers for the Red Hawks. They are first in the league in assist-to-turnover ratio, so not something they're typically doing. And man, Kraft could flat out fill it up.
He is just making everything so far. 8 points on 3 of 3 shooting. On Ball State's end, they started 0 for 7 from the field, 5 of their last 8 since. Hart heaves one up and hits, draws a foul too.
And Joey Hart, man, did he need that. The transfer from Kentucky was 2 of 12. And I didn't see a whole lot there by Skowjak, so Cardinals got a break on that one. Hart trying to get a 4-point play. Thought that was a good job of contesting by Skowjak.
You mentioned big for Hart. He didn't play against Kent State. Coach Lewis says he was kind of under the weather against Kent State, and just the rotations didn't allow him to get in. But when he has his chance, especially in the first half, these are big minutes for him.
Yeah, there's no question about it. This is a great opportunity for Joey. You know, I really feel like when he broke his hand over the summer, and he missed a lot of time while other guys were able to get out there and practice. So this is a big opportunity, as you said.
Sparks alone, and another one. Back to the free throw line for Sparks.
Remember early on, Mick, we said defense without fouling. Red Knox had not given one up. Now all of a sudden 5 team fouls, and Jamari Fathill doing a great job finding his teammate.
And when Sparks is celebrating like that, you know it's good, and things are rolling.
And Sparks looks a little gassed out there. Be interesting if Hendricks comes back in here at any point soon.
Well, Hendricks is walking behind the team bench with Jessica Kinder, the athletic trainer for the Cards, and now Hendricks runs back to take a seat.
This is probably the longest stretch Payton Sparks has played consecutively. If you think about it, came in, I think at like the 17-minute mark.
Right. Hendricks about to check back in, though. Hart stepping in front of Kraft, but he hits it over him anyway. He's leading all scorers with 10.
So what makes Kraft difficult, right? He doesn't want to be just known as a shooter. You've got to play him at the line, and then if you do that and crowd him, he's got the ability to put the ball on the deck and get to the paint.
Sparks back to Gorosito, but there's a travel first. Third turnover on Ball State gives it back to Miami for a chance to take the lead back in a seesaw battle here in the Mid-American Conference. 4 wins in a row for Ball State, 3 for Miami. Both 1-0 in Mid-American Conference play.
The bold Louisiana flavor and crispy crunch of Popeye's signature chicken is the meal your craving deserves. And now you can get 3 pieces for just $5 and make it a meal for only $3 more.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Okay, I'm gonna help you clean it, all right?
You're not gonna taste it?
You could just watch ESPN, but why not tap in? Tap into peak fandom. Tap into who's hot, who's who, and who's got the takes. Tap into fast friends. Tap into the thing that becomes your thing, that becomes everything. Tap into an entire world of sports.
The Australian Open hits different on the networks of ESPN.
This Miami-Ball State rivalry dates back forever, but 1992 will always stick out because the first game inside Worthen Arena E was Miami and Ball State. The Cardinals walked away with a win.
Yeah, man, what a way to break in Worthen Arena. You saw such a huge crowd that night, and 70-64 Cardinal win. Dick Huntsaker.
112th meeting today between these two teams. Miami won both games last year. Darwishi Hunter hit that unreal shot at the end of the second half for Miami to send it to overtime, and the Red Hawks eventually won. That sent everybody into pure shock mode.
Yeah, I tell you what, it has just been, over the years, one of the best rivalries. Of course, Ohio is always going to be Miami's best rivalry, but such history. The Cardinals last going to the tournament in 2000. It was 2007 for the Red Hawks, so both of these programs, the MAC, so much better when these two programs are in the thick of things.
And they're in the thick of it so far this year. 4 wins in a row for Ball State, 3 straight for Miami. And Ian Elmer does what he does best, hit shots. He's top 10 in the conference in field goal percentage.
Yeah, Elmer really upped his game. 6 points a game last year. Huge jump as a sophomore, averaging 12.
Cooper nearly takes it from Hill. Hendricks back in the game after the injury scare, misses, but Pearson the O board. Wolford hits Pearson, and Mickey's going to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Well, that's an important foul because that's going to be Woolfolk's second foul, and we've seen the difference he makes at both ends. 4 points, 4 rebounds, and Travis Steele has a decision to make. You know, let's take another look at it. Yeah, he's definitely got him with the body there. It's a 3rd offensive rebound for Ball State. And Travis Steele's going to bring Reese Potter in.
Pearson at the free throw line, 82%.
You know, it's not unusual for Travis Steele to put a guy to the bench with 2 fouls. Ken Palm keeps that stat only 25% of the time. Will Travis Steele play a guy in the first half with 2 fouls? So we'll see how long Wolford stays out there. Big minutes right now for Reese Potter. I wouldn't be surprised to see Michael Lewis counter at some point with Payton Sparks here.
Well, Coach Steele, as Kraft just heaves one on the run off the mark. Coach Steele feels like his depth is so good that he can take guys out and put anybody else in, and they'll have that same type of success. So to your 25% of the time at 2 or more fouls, he doesn't feel like he has to play his guys. As Cooper picks it from Hill, but it's last touched by Makai Cooper.
Yeah, and I tell you, Miami doing a great job of running a second guy at Fat Hill whenever he puts the ball on the deck. That time, almost a steal there by Makai Cooper.
What a find. Watts to Hendricks.
You called it, partner. Terrific pass out of the double team. And I don't care who it is. Ben Hendricks gets the ball that deep, he's going to score it.
Colin Gorosito, he's pleading his case that Cooper pushed off. Well, the second team foul on Ball State while Miami has 6.
With Jones out of the lineup, Gorosito on Suter, and Fat Hill, the assignment right here on Cam Kraft.
Cooper bounces it towards Suter. Gorosito knocks it loose. 5th Miami turnover. Hill in space, through traffic. Rebound to Potter.
Fat Hill Normally would make those. 1 of 5 today for Hill from the field.
And Hendricks has been popping the ball free all day long so far. Cooper with 10 to shoot. Through Hill.
And Mick, notice the spacing. The Red Hawks do such a terrific job of spacing the floor. Cooper had all kinds of real estate to get to the paint there because the Red Hawks were spread so nicely.
Watts blocked by Elmer. Skaljek checks back in, the freshman for Cam Kraft. Gorosito launches his first. Offensive foul on Pearson.
Well, Red Hawks got a break there. It was good execution of an end out of bounds play set up for Gorosito. 15th in the country at 45% from deep. Pretty good look, just didn't knock it in. With Croft on the bench for Suter to maybe get a little bit more involved. Only 2 points thus far.
Suter has it now. The quick drive, and you called it right on cue. 4 straight points for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, they do a good job of getting guys downhill with that curl off the top of the key.
Pearson dancing around, finds Gorosito, and Gorosito's well off the mark.
Really good defense that time by Cooper.
Here goes Miami. This is where they're dangerous, and a slam home from Ian Elmer. Timeout, Coach Lewis. 6 straight points for the Red Hawks. And Miami's offense finding its way to the cup, changing the game.
Yeah, I tell you, Elmer is so athletic, but watch Peter Suter with that dime. I mean, that's why you say a stat sheet stuffer. Very unselfish, but a terrific play there. And Ian Elmer from Cincinnati Taft High School, extremely, extremely athletic. I mean, I've seen some videos of his dunks in high school that were off the charts.
Coach Steele is loving every bit of what Ian Elmer's brought to the group, too. He said that the jump that he has made has been so impressive because he's taken everything to heart. You mentioned the athleticism, and Coach Steele did as well. But the reason that this offense at 83 points per game is able to do what it does, yes, is because of Kraft and Suter, but Elmer's right in the thick of it too.
Yeah, I mean, what did he say? He said, Elmer is one of those guys I don't want to ever take him out. Like, you know, it just seems like when he's in there, we're playing much better, and I don't want to get him off the floor, but you can see those stats right there, just how prolific their offense is.
Elmer has a lot to do with it, shooting 49% from the field and 44% from 3, as this one's tapped out by Elmer.
And first time all night, Red Hawks throwing a little full court pressure. It's an area, even though the Cardinals beat Kent State, at the final minutes, Kent State put on some full court press, and the Cardinals struggled mightily, so you know they've worked on it in the practice. Red Hawks drop back man to man. Sparks against Potter. Let's see if Ball State doesn't try to get 5 some touches.
7 points, 3 rebounds for Sparks so far today. There's a foul on Potter, and as soon as the foul was called, did you see Sparks tap Potter on the back? Gave him a couple of taps and said thanks.
Well, that is now the second foul on Potter, so both of Miami's bigs. And look, that's just a tough cover. Reese Potter is 7'1", 215. Payton Sparks is 6'10", 265.
Guards are 5 and 9 from the free throw line. Fifth in the country at free throw attempts per game, 8th in makes for Ball State. It's been consistent all of Coach Lewis's 3 years at Ball State, getting to the free throw line, taking advantage. Sparks goes 1 for 2.
Yeah, it's such a contrast. The Red Hawks 12th in the MAC, only averaging 12 free throw attempts per game.
And only 9 makes. Elmer from distance, launches and hits.
Well, you hear the phrase 3-level scorer. That's what they're talking about. You saw the athleticism, the drive, the dunk, and also the ability to step out and can the three. That's his 31st triple on the season.
Elmer's just a 3-level scorer for this Miami team, building a 5-point advantage.
And there's a second body at Fat Hill.
Here we go. Skowjak launches. And Miami's not mad at those types of shots. They want those shots.
Absolutely not. And that's one of the reasons why turnovers against a team like Miami are especially troublesome.
And Hill burns Miami on the other end. That felt like a big back and forth swing for Ball State.
Yeah, and Fat Hill is now 6 of his last 11. And Mick, you and I have seen him when he catches it in rhythm as opposed to off of the dribble, so much more efficient.
And Miami turns it over. After the under 4-minute timeout, Ball State has a chance to tie it back up or take the lead here from Worthen. Great MAC showdown, second conference game of the year, back and forth basketball. Fat Hill closing the gap with the 3.
Popeyes has the wing game on lock for your watch party. With 8 crispy, bold Louisiana wing flavors in bone-in or boneless, you just might have everyone chanting MVP in your direction.
Have that chicken from Popeyes.
You could just watch ESPN, but why not tap in? Tap into peak fandom. Tap into who's hot, who's who, and who's got the takes. Tap into fast friends. Tap into the thing that becomes your thing, that becomes everything. Tap into an entire world of sports. Tap into an entire world of sports. ESPN.
The Supercopa de España. A battle for glory.
Well, it is showtime. 2 semi-finals.
The magic of the big teams with all their stars. And the drive of those who seek to surprise.
This is an incredible tale. And the World Super Cup, meanwhile, Desert Storm.
Wednesday and Thursday, the semi-finals, and Sunday, the grand final. For the love of football.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out-of-market games and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
Third-year head coach Travis Steele trying to resurrect this Miami Redhawks program. He said that it's been dormant for too long, and he wants to be somebody that helps put this program on the map. And this year, it feels like it's going smooth sailing.
Yeah, I mean, they are on the right trajectory. I mean, you can see 9 conference wins last year, the most since 2021. And terrific record there at Xavier, 70-50. And, you know, I was obviously being in Cincinnati, right up the road, perfect fit for Miami. And my initial thought was, man, this is a league of great coaches, and adding somebody like Travis Steele to the mix was just a terrific choice.
Elmer climbs the rim again.
And again, the press paying dividends.
Hill tries to answer, can't, but there's Sparks. Back it in.
Well, Miami's got to do a better job clearing the glass. That is 3 offensive rebounds for the Cardinals. Got the initial stop, just couldn't secure the glass.
And Ipsaro blows by Gorosito and is going to the free throw line too.
Can we see that again? I want to show the spacing that allows Ipsaro to get to the paint like that. It's a terrific drive by the sophomore. Well, as you can see, they were spread out. You had to look quick. You had to look really quick, but...
Here's Ipsaro at the free throw line. He was 93% before that miss. 14 of 15 before. TJ Birch in for the first time today.
Kraft back in.
Hill mostly shut down today so far. 6 points for Ball State's leading scorer. Pearson's in trouble, throws it up with 2 to shoot, rolls around and pot of the board.
Good job by Ipsaro there. Pearson wanted to drive, kept him from doing it.
Ibsharo gives it off to Kraft, floating, and Sparks with the rebound. Coach Lewis wants pace. Birch provides it. Pearson through two, and he's going to the free throw line.
And that's Elmer's second foul, so fouls starting to mount right now for the Red Hawks.
So Ball State can make up ground in a hurry. Miami's taken one free throw. Ball State 6 of 11.
Pearson 82% on the season. Had a game earlier this year against Bellarmine, was 12 for 12 at the charity stripe.
That mark was the best since 2018 of 12 free throw attempts, hitting all of them. Taylor Persons did that back in 2018. Two-point game. Suter goes back to work on Watts. Ibsaro leading into one, and Birch whistled for the foul.
Good job by Ibsaro playing off of 2 feet, Mick. Got to the paint, stayed on balance.
You love when a player plays in balance like that on 2 feet.
No question. This gives you the opportunity to pump fake, get the defender up in the air, get to the charity stripe, and you're also in a position to kick it out to one of these tremendous shooters that the Red Hawks have. Ibsaro, a really good free throw shooter, now 15 of 16 on the year.
The sophomore from Kentucky broke his high school record for free throw percentage at 91%. Was up for Kentucky State Player of the Year. Last year, a small part of this team. This year has been picking up some big minutes off the bench.
Cardinals have to figure out this press, not just break it, but look to score.
Hill does miss. Sparks right there, and he puts it back in. 12.6 boards for Sparks, and 4 of those rebounds are offensive. As Kraft back to work, Sparks grabs it.
Yeah, Sparks a man amongst boys right now, inside, getting all the O boards.
Chance to tie it for Ball State. Birch does it. No, but he travels. They got him for the steps. 6th turnover.
Well, let's take a look at it. 1, 2. Yep, no question about it. Good call there by Luke Schumer.
It's a hard call to make in real time with that foot going down right before the ball's up.
There's a second on Suter now. And Travis Steele shakes his head. He knows it. Peter Suter, a veteran, he knows it as well. Referees always looking to call that moving screen. And
I feel like they're calling it more this year, too. Looking for it.
Definitely been a point of emphasis.
Chance to tie or take the lead for Ball State.
Miami goes into a zone.
Seven to shoot. Hill has 2. Watts right before the horn. Sparks it on their own board. Hill's wide open in stride. Airballs it, but Watts again claims it, and there's nowhere to go. And a whistle.
Well, the Cardinals didn't take advantage, but the Red Hawks have to do a better job on defensive rebounding. That is now 5 offensive boards for the Cardinals. Travis Steele going to use it or lose it. Timeout.
You mentioned the rebounding. Sparks has 12 points and 8 boards in the first half. He has 8 of Ball State's 19 rebounds.
Yeah, the Cardinals with a 6-0 second chance point advantage. As Dan Wolford points out, that's 14 minutes. You know, Hendricks went out with that injury.
Yeah.
He's on pace to play the most minutes of any game this year.
Offensive rebounds galore. 16.5 points per game in the last 3 games for Payton Sparks. 11 rebounds per game during this stretch as well.
No question about it. He's a difference maker. Now, if you're the Red Hawks, shot clock is off at worst. You go into halftime up 2. You don't want to shoot too soon. Give the Cardinals another look. And if you're Peter Suter, you've got to watch out that you don't pick up that 3rd foul on an offensive charge.
See what this high-flying Miami offense does, shooting 54% now here in the first half. They're heating up. Only 3 made threes, though, and Watts tangled up with Ipsaro. Ball State did have a foul to give.
Good sportsmanship there. That's a smart play.
Kraft off balance. Got another one. Cam Kraft lethal from 3 as Birch with a 3/4 court heave comes up empty. But Cam parted in football because they didn't add the rest of their sports in the MAC a long time ago. Now they're coming back and adding them all. Off we go for the second half here from Muncie. 5-point Miami lead. Thanks for spending your Tuesday night with us. David Eha, Mick Tidrow, Dan Wolfen, our statistician, Eric Perrin producing, and Alex Seitz in the director's seat. And it is a turnover on possession number 1.
Mason Jones played 5 minutes in that first half. He gets the start in the second half.
Here's Elmer, had 9 points on 4 of 4 shooting in the first half. Kraft heaves one up and lights it up again. 4 of 6 from 3 for Cam Kraft.
Just deadly, curling off of those screens. Credit Woolfolk doing a great job freeing his teammate.
Can Ball State answer?
See Miami doing a lot of switching, and that's going to be the 3rd on Woolfolk. That didn't take long, all of 50 seconds.
It's a big 3rd foul because Payton Sparks was working against Potter in the first half.
Yeah, and it's huge. And what did we say? It was a little thing at the other end, but it was Woolfolk with the terrific screen that freed up Cam Kraft. And Travis Steele just talking to him over there, but that's a big, big loss. We'll see how long he stays out there.
Bill's trying to work against Suter. Jones feeds Hendricks. Stuffed by the rim. Stays Ball State's possession. Looks like Hendricks just ran out of real estate there.
Yeah, credit Ian Elmer for contesting Mason Jones. That was a nice delivery, but unable to finish.
Gorosito off the run. Jones can't save it.
Tell you, Makai Cooper's done a really good job on Watsy Gorosito. I mean, he is a premier 3-point shooter, and he's 0 for 3, no points thus far for number 4.
Now a foul on Jones away from the ball for Ball State. It feels like a big stretch to get to the end of the 16 media timeout, whether this deficit shrinks or climbs. The way Miami started shooting at the end of that first half, they're starting to find their footing. 8 to shoot. Here's Cooper to Potter. Potter well short.
Good job of defense that time by Hendricks.
Hill dancing around, high off glass, puts it in. Maybe that'll get Hill going.
And those are the ones Hill wasn't finishing in the first half, Mick. Boy, what a great matchup we've got here tonight with Hill and Kraft guarding each other at both ends. Look at that dime by Suter.
And Elmer can't convert on it, though. Suter tries for the rebound. Here goes Gorosito. Morosito's free, stutter step, and a foul. This one's on Potter. That's his third personal, so he has 3. Woolfolk has 3. What does Coach Steele do?
And immediately, Payton Sparks up off the bench, and you know exactly where the Cardinals are going to go next time down.
Kotecki off the bench, maybe somebody they have to turn to at some point with this foul trouble. Sparks going against Potter. Finds Hernandez, open 3, got it!
And Mick, that's just a great example, right? Payton Sparks didn't score, but you draw the double team, and a great job of finding the open man.
Suter attacks Jones off balance. Ball State has numbers. This is where the Cards are dangerous. Hill off balance. Jones collects, bounces around and out. Kraft. Spin around and gets it. Oh, man. Cam Kraft has 18.
And he's doing it every which way with such efficiency. 7 of 10 from the field.
Start to feel a fierce crowd, an atmosphere. Rivalry feeling intense. Jones fakes the 3.
They will give Mason Jones that 3 all day long.
Sparks just goes right through Potter.
Yeah, Potter didn't want to commit that 4th foul. Not rocket science. Cards just going to continue to pound it inside.
And Kraft is just going to keep shooting and keep hitting.
And Michael Lewis desperately trying to find somebody that can put the clamps on Cam Kraft, because he is taking over.
18 tonight, 7 of 10 from the field.
And here's the thing, he's 6'6", Mick. He can pretty much get his shot whenever he wants it.
Elmer takes it from Jones. Nobody's home, and Elmer slams it.
Elmer, 3rd in the MAC in steals. So active, uses that length and athleticism.
His 28th steal already through 14 games, and Hill throws it into the bench. 7-point Miami lead. Ian Elmer's been all over the place. 11 points, picked the pocket, and took it himself. Transition points, the name of the game for the Redhawks.
Popeyes has the wing game on lock for your watch party. With 8 crispy, bold Louisiana wing flavors in bone-in or boneless, you just might have everyone chanting MVP in your direction.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
You could just watch ESPN, but why not tap in? Tap into peak fandom. Tap into who's hot, who's who, and who's got the takes. Tap into fast friends. Tap into the thing that becomes your thing, that becomes everything. Tap into an entire world of sports. Tap into an entire world of sports. ESPN.
The Supercopa de España. A battle for glory.
Well, it is showtime. 2 semi-finals.
The magic of the big teams with all their stars. And the drive of those who seek to surprise.
This is an incredible tale. The World Super Cup, meanwhile, Desert Storm.
Wednesday and Thursday, the semifinals, and Sunday, the grand final. For the love of football.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out-of-market games and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
Cam Kraft is burning Ball State today, 20 points early on, and Coach Steele said he has the ultimate neon green light. Whenever he wants a shot, he can take it, and he's done it.
Yeah, and you can see why. I mean, again, Mick, it's the efficiency, 20 points on 11 field goal attempts. And we talked about it. I mean, he was a four-star recruit coming out of high school, had offers from Iowa, Maryland, Nebraska, South Carolina before signing with Xavier, so one heck of a player.
1,222 days after Kraft committed to play for Steele at Xavier. It took some time with injuries and Steele leaving Xavier to come to Miami for them to link back up. But as soon as Kraft hit the portal, Coach Steele knew where he was making a phone call.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why it helps to have those relationships.
For more on Kraft, we send it over to Sam.
That's right, Mick. In modern college basketball, we see power conference talent move around all the time, but it's a lot more rare to see a player take a step from power conference ball down to the mid-major level, but Cam Kraft has excelled at this. You mentioned it. 2 years ago, he suffered a season-ending knee injury when he was a Xavier Musketeer. It made him redshirt his sophomore season as well, so he had to transfer to this Miami Redhawks team. He's excelled this go-around, averaging over 15 points per game, scoring in double figures but in all but 2 games this year. He's one comeback story that the whole MAC can root for, guys.
Still a couple of buckets here in the second half, but Sam, you're absolutely right, because Kraft was recruited by Steele twice for a reason. He said, I've wanted to coach this kid his entire career, as Potter with a dime to Ipsaro.
Yeah, one of the things, you know, when he was at Xavier, he would go up against Colby Jones, who's now playing for the Sacramento Kings every day in practice, and that certainly will help your game.
It's like anybody going up against you in practice. Always getting better at your game.
Great analogy.
I meant because you made your teammates better.
Yes.
That's what I meant. You took it the other way. Did you take it the other way?
The older I get, the better I was.
Miami, there's the ultimate neon green light, and it wiggles out.
And man, Carr's got a huge break there. Nobody, how do you lose that guy in transition?
Gorosito looking for his first three. Instead, dumps it down to Sparks. Hernandez launches. Oh, it finds a home.
Home sweet home. Little shooter's touch there by Hernandez. Nobody within 8 feet of him. Give the assist to Sparks.
Oh, Potter's looking like a point guard.
That is 2 backdoor cuts the Red Hawks have run in consecutive possessions, and credit the 7-footer Reese Potter with a couple of dimes.
That is now 14 assists on 22 made buckets for Miami.
Now, what does Travis Steele say? Great shooting teams are typically great passing teams.
Pearson over top Kraft.
Well, the offense is picked up for sure, partner. We got off to a slow start, but now who can get stops and string 2 or 3 in a row?
This is what Coach Steele said. He said, hey, I want this to be a tennis match. I want people's eyeballs to be going left, right, left, right.
Yeah, they're doing it. There's no question. This pace is favoring the Red Hawks.
Suter. 15 points per game, muscles against Hernandez, rolls around and out, and Sparks has a double-double, 10th board.
Yeah, we talked about Hill missing some of those in the first half. Those are ones Suter typically knocks down.
Gorosito lofts it for Sparks all by himself. Miami led by 8 6 minutes ago. It's down to 2, and Potter quickly changes that.
Potter's getting ready to come out. Woolfolk over there ready to check in. He has made the most of his minutes in this stretch. A couple of nice assists, that time burying the triple.
Intensity heating up in this rivalry matchup as Gorosito stripped by Ipsaro.
10th turnover for the Cards. Another steal by the Red Hawks.
Kraft off the screen, off the mark.
That's that same play. They love to curl him. Potter setting the screen at the top of the key.
Now Ball State has a chance to make it a one-possession game again.
Be shocked if Sparks doesn't get a touch here.
He's calling for it against Potter with those 3 fouls. Hernandez looks for him. Double team, Sparks heaves it out. 5 to shoot, the step back. Hernandez Rolls out. Miami feasts in transition offense, but this time they slow it down. One of the rare times off a miss from an opponent, they slow it in the half court.
And there has not been a stoppage in play in quite some time. These guys all are gassed right now.
Potter. Turnaround Jay.
Yeah, he's gassed. I mean, you can tell that one's short, didn't even really elevate.
Can Ball State take advantage of it? Gorosito can.
What do we talk about at the half? The adjustment. The Red Hawks a better job on the defensive glass. Only one full board here in the second half for Ball State.
And that's after Sparks had 4 in the first half himself. Suter just 4 points. Dishes to Potter. 7 to shoot. Ipsaro from way downtown.
Yeah, I mean, these guys waiting to check in have been over there for 5 or 6 minutes. I mean,
we might hit too many timeouts at this rate. Sparks, nifty pass to Pearson, who attacks. A blocking foul on Ipsaro, and there is that much desired break as players throwing their hands on their heads. And a 5-point Red Hawks lead. Both teams tried to extend win streaks. Ball State's won 4 in a row. Miami 3.
Enjoy.
Stuffed crust, buttery garlic spread. Little Caesars really stepped it up with their stuffed crazy crust.
They really jazzed it up. Yeah!
They really plussed this crust up.
They really dolled it up.
Everyone out my house. How did y'all even get in here?
The housekeeper gave me a key.
Order stuffed crazy crust for $9.49 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
The Australian Open hits different on the networks of ESPN.
It's time to get in the game and sign up to ESPN Plus.
The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
The Australian Open hits different on the networks of ESPN.
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster.
This is star power from the jump. The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
The Supercopa de España. A battle for glory.
Well, it is showtime. 2 semi-finals.
The magic of the big teams with all their stars. And the drive of those who seek to surprise.
This is an incredible tale. The World Super Cup, meanwhile, Desert Storm.
Wednesday and Thursday, the semifinals, and Sunday, the grand final. For the love of football.
Islam Makhachev. What is it going to take to stop this guy? Arman Sarukian, very much a problem.
It all goes down live on pay-per-view.
Sparks just picked up his 24th career double-double today. He has 16 and 11 in this one. That's what he's averaging over the last 3 games.
Yeah, he is definitely a difference maker for the Cardinals. And there you see all the accomplishments. Talked about it earlier. Scored his 1,000th point a couple games ago against Anderson. And as good a person off the court as he is a player on the court. Gentle giant in Payton Sparks. Cardinals and their faithful certainly glad to have him back for his senior season.
Kyle Macy, freshman All-American in 2022. Followed that up with an All-MAC season in 2023. Transferred to IU for a season, comes back here, and he has hit his stride exactly when Ball State needed it.
No question about it. He's logged 22 minutes tonight. All those guys that needed a rest are finally getting one. Let's see what the guys that have been waiting over there can do.
7 minutes of game action without that under 12 media timeout.
And for the Red Hawks, you've got both Suter and Cam Kraft on the bench right now.
That's a rarity. Hernandez fighting through contact with 1 on the clock. The tip back Pearson and Hart were both right there.
Yeah, it's going to need to be team rebounding for the Red Hawks right now. And they are very young. You're talking about 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and the junior Woolfolk.
Skaljak going to the free throw line, true freshman out of Brecksville, Ohio. But a putback here from Pearson just in time.
Yeah, that time Skaljak came out to help, and nobody boxed out Mickey Pearson. Cardinals with an 8-0 advantage, second chance points.
A Miami team that makes just 9 free throws per game. That was their 3rd made free throw on 4 attempts today. Hart can't secure. Ipsaro. Deep 3. Byers off the mark. He was 6 for 6 last game from 3. Can't connect there.
Yeah, Card's got a huge break. You allow a free throw rebound and then an open 3. That could have been extremely costly.
Here's Watts. Hendricks double team. Punches it out. Was it tipped? No.
Now, that time Miami elected to double team Ben Hendricks, and that paid dividends. These teams typically will double Sparks but play Hendricks 1-on-1.
Feels like the plan is for Miami, no matter who the big fella is in there, double him up. Byers. Byers launches again. 0 for 2.
Boy, Woolfolk got away with one there very easily. Could have been the 4th foul on him.
The Muncie faithful thought it was. Can Ball State cut this to a 1-possession game? 55-51. Second game of the MAC season. Both teams looking for that 2-0 start. Offensive foul.
Now, but Cam Kraft in. Ethan Britton Watts, Cardinals' best perimeter defender, gets the assignment. Thing is, Watts 6'1", Kraft 6'6".
Woolfolk backing it around, twirling toward the cup, and that's what Miami missed in the first half when he had all those fouls.
Yeah, no question about it. Gives you a post presence. That was just great patience right there. Kept his dribble alive. No double team came.
Sparks and Hill set to check in. 6-point Miami advantage. Ball State scoreless in the last minute, 40. Watts against Cooper. Cooper got just enough to call a foul. Woolfolk making his presence known. Been in foul trouble, but helping extend this Miami lead to 6. 57-51. One-on-one matchups, he's winning most of those.
The bold Louisiana flavor and crispy crunch of Popeye's signature chicken is the meal your craving deserves. And now you can get 3 pieces for just $5 and make it a meal for only $3 more.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Okay, I'm gonna help you clean it, all right?
You could just watch ESPN, but why not tap in? Tap into peak fandom. Tap into who's hot, who's who, and who's got the takes. Tap into fast friends. Tap into the thing that becomes your thing, that becomes everything. Tap into an entire world of sports.
The Australian Open hits different on the networks of ESPN.
Miami's all about energy. Some teams have a turnover chain. Some teams have an energy chain.
That's right. Miami combines an energy-generating behavior chain, the EGB, that they give out not only after every win, but they also give it out during the week. And what they do is award the player that showed behavior that's not reflected in the stats. Deflections, high five, talking good to a teammate, diving on the floor. And Christian Smith, great guy, former Ball State assistant, third year at Miami, gives it away in the locker room after every win.
Coach Steele said the players absolutely love it, and it holds everybody accountable. He says that even you get points, even if you hold your teammate accountable in a game. He said the small things matter, and the chain is the big reward at the end of the game.
That's right, and things that don't show up in the stat sheet. Miami came out that time out of the timeout in the 2-3 zone. Fat Hill starting to get to the rim. Now 10 points. We talked about guys needing to come alive.
Cooper.
Short.
Will Short.
You see more and more teams talking about that EGB. More and more teams. I know Steve Kerr, the San Antonio Spurs, they actually chart high fives in the huddle and how many times they slap teammates. They keep track of that. I mean, seems like a little thing, you know, why would you care? But it's about behavior. That's your team and, you know, being connected. Travis Steele uses that term a lot.
Shows you care about the product and your teammates. It's something bigger than yourself.
Exactly. More about winning, less about self.
Pearson has 5 to shoot. In a jam, gets out of it. Hill racing, finishing.
Yeah, just a difficult cover there for the freshman. Luke Skowjak trying to guard Fat Hill.
Hill has turned a different gear on, and the crowd's appreciating it. Backdoor cut again has destroyed Ball State's defense.
You're so worried, Mick, about guarding at the three-point line that you're going to overplay, and Miami does a great job reading it, cutting with a purpose, and again, the big, that time Woolfork with the nice pass.
Hill's working against Cooper, 4-point ball game. Turnover.
6 steal for the Red Hawks, 13th turnover.
Suter to the rack. Sparks meets him there, and a foul.
Well, we talked about Miami not shooting a lot of free throws. Suter leads them on the season with 49 attempts, 40 makes. Peter's dad, Rick Suter, was a heck of a player at Duquesne. Back in the 80s, led the A-10 in scoring his senior year at 20 points a game. Started as a freshman at Carmel High School, part of 2 state championship teams there. Oh my, 2 times in a row.
They hadn't had an offensive rebound all game and have last couple of possessions. Kraft, oh man.
Yeah, Yeah, Michael Lewis is going to call a timeout here. Well, now that Fat Hill has a path to the basket, he lets him go. He's absolutely livid, giving up another rebound off of a free throw miss.
Not just a three-point shooter. Cam Kraft does everything. Look at this.
And again, man, that's what makes him special. He is not just a catch-and-shoot guy. You want to attack him and crowd him at the three-point line. He's got the skill to get to the rim.
Much needed free throw for Ball State. 9 of 14 at the line to cut it to 6. Hill just slowly eats away at a defense with his points. He was at 6 at halftime. He's now up to 15. Just slowly gets to the rim and the point sheet.
No question about it. And he has his average now at 16. Critical juncture here. One of these teams string together 2 or 3 stops in a row.
The Max leading offense in Miami, scoring 83 points a game, held to 62 today against Ball State's defense, second best in the MAC, only giving up 70 a night.
There's that downhill.
And Suter goes for it just over top Sparks.
You see the head of steam that Suter had basically built up just on the fly. They probably run that same action 5 or 6 times tonight.
Sparks calling for it, but there's 3 defenders there waiting for him.
Potter doing a good job fronting Sparks. They wanted to get it in there.
8 to shoot.
Miami switching everything right now.
Here goes Hill, jab step, kick out. Hernandez is open and fouled by Suter. With 1 on the shot clock, Hernandez can do some damage.
And man, they bailed Ball State out. That was as good a half-court defense sequence you could find. And didn't get the hand, but just the upper body on the flyby with 1 second on the shot clock. I tell you, Travis Steele looking for his team to play defense, and they've really brought the energy and the defense, particularly in the half court, I think has just been terrific.
Coach Steele said, we know we can do an offense. We're going to score a lot of points. We're going to make a lot of shots from the field, from 3. Want to see the defensive side become more consistent because they give up 47% from the field, which is last out of MAC teams.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, mark this down. That is a big 3-point swing, right? If they don't commit the foul, Miami goes down and drains a 3. All of a sudden, it's a 10-point lead instead of a 4-point lead.
Mark at 64-60. How that'll play. Suter another backdoor cut. Miami's 1 for its last 8 from 3 East, so what have they done? They just keep cutting backdoor.
That's right, because they know the Cardinals are so worried about defending the 3. They overplay. Great cut, great pass.
6-point affair. Hill going against Suter. Seven to shoot. Watts for Sparks. Backdoor cut this time. It's Pearson, and he's fouled. Again, late in the shot clock.
Looks like they're going to get Ian Elmer on that one, his 3rd foul.
Woolfolk has 3. Potter has 3. Suter with 3. And now Elmer with 3. Ball State's shooting the bonus for the rest of the game. And Pearson connects 14 of 19 today at the free throw line.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody was happier than Mickey Pearson to see Payton Sparks come back to Ball State, because Mickey is one of the best cutters for a big man. With all the attention Payton Sparks draws, Mickey does a terrific job cutting to the rim, and Payton finds him.
I think Payton comes back in after the under 4 media timeout.
No question about it.
Ball State 5 for its last 5 from the free throw line. Last couple of trips, big time charity stripe trips. Under 4, 4-point game. Kraft Over 20 points today. Give him 2 more. 28 for Cam Kraft. His season high is 34. Hill's going quick. Right as Suter draws a foul. Seems like both teams are finding their recipe. Get to the rim, force fouls, or make free throws and layups.
Yep, that's a 4th foul on Suter. Buckle up. Action coming down to the wire here at Worthen.
Popeyes has the wing game on lock for your watch party. With 8 crispy, bold Louisiana wing flavors and bone-in or boneless, you just might have everyone chanting MVP in your direction.
Have that chicken from Popeyes.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, marquee NHL events, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
Tap into the game and your people. Tap into an entire world of sports.
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster. Whoa!
This is star power from the jump. The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
For the love of football, derbies, ultras, and Humba. And every match on ESPN Plus.
Nothing like in the Bundesliga.
For the love of braces and hat-tricks.
With a belter!
Belters and wonder goals.
Oh, that's a wonder goal!
Number 9s and the Torschützenkönig. For the love of the Invincibles.
Leverkusen, unbeaten champions.
For the love of Bundesliga. Exclusively on ESPN Plus.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out of
Rivalry has plenty of games to bookmark, and this MAC championship for Ball State back in 2000, a 3-point win, the Cardinals' last Mid-American Conference championship. But what a day that was for Ball State.
Yeah, hard to believe. It's been 24 years, and Cardinals, Dwayne Clemens, MVP of the tournament, and the Cardinals won 3 games to win that title by a total of 7 points. They were all highly contested. And Mick, I look at that highlight at the end with Ray McCallum and Charlie Coles shaking hands. And man, twice tonight we've made mention of Charlie Coles, the late, great Charlie Coles, one of my favorite people to be around. I've been doing this a long time. There's one coach where I would always stick around for the post-game presser, and it was Charlie Coles, because you never knew what you were going to get. Just an awesome, awesome guy, and left us way too soon.
Hill's first free throw drops in. And you mentioned it, that the MAC has such a great stable of coaches. They've always had a great stable of coaches.
Think about Charlie Coles on his staff. Thad Matta, Herb Sendek, James Whitford, Jim Christian, Rob Senderoff. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Every one of those coaches has done something incredible. 4-point game. Ball State's made its last 7 free throws. Potter to Kraft, who's nearing 30.
Good job that time. Britton Watts fighting over the screen.
Can Watts hold on for 7 more seconds of the shot clock, but this time Cooper gets by Hill. It's on repeat.
And that is now 5 assists for Reese Potter. That's a career high for him. 7 dimes by the bigs alone.
His season high before tonight in assists was 2. He's just standing up there and picking everything apart. Gorosito back in for Hernandez.
Gorosito very quiet tonight. Done a great job. Credit Makai Cooper. Haven't talked about him much, but Gorosito 0 for 4. 3 turnovers in 24 minutes.
Big spot, down 6-3 to go. Hill cut off by Suter, trying to attack anyway, does so short. Sparks the old board, put back no, but another foul.
Well, the Cardinals tried the same action the Red Hawks have been doing all night with the little high screen, get Fat Hill going downhill, and Payton Sparks, another offensive rebound. Give him 16 and 12 on the night.
From the 5-minute 32 mark to 3:43, it spanned 1 minute and 49 seconds. Ball State was 9 for 9 at the free throw line.
Yeah, Cardinals have to find a way to get stops. I mean, Miami has made 7 of their last 8.
And shooting 55% from the field here in the game. Gorosito holds on to Cooper. No backdoor cut that possession, but here's Kraft. Suter driving on Hill. 10 to shoot. Suter backing up. Fade away goes.
Just a savvy move. You see him create space. Dip the shoulder a little bit off of 1 foot. Clutch.
Watts hopping around. Approaching 2 to play. 7-point game. Here's Hill. Towards Sparks. And a foul on Woolfolk. 5th personal foul. He's done. Can Ball State take advantage of that the rest of the game? Potter's got to come back in, which he's done a great job.
Yeah, I mean, Potter, yeah, he's got 3 points on 1 of 6 shooting, but 5 assists. Done a great job facilitating. Woolfolk leaves with 5 rebounds and 6 points, but a couple of huge free throws right now for Payton Sparks.
Sparks now 3 for 7.
Another thing to keep in mind here, Mick, the Cardinals with just 4 team fouls.
And Miami's in the double bonus, or put Ball State in the double bonus to shoot the rest of the game. Sparks misses both. Stays a 7-point game. Potter back in control. Pearson holds on to Elmer. Kraft off the screen. Heaves one up. Karam's out. Elmer the board. Put back. Rolls around and out. Sparks a big rebound. Chance to cut this to a 2-possession game. 1:30 to go. Hill to Gorosito. Big 3-point shot. Sparks another old board. Goes up and draws another foul.
Wow, Ian Elmer at the other end. The 3rd offensive rebound, only the 3rd of the night. Had it point blank, couldn't finish. That might have sealed it.
Yeah.
Instead, Cardinals come down, and again, more big free throws. Have to take advantage right now if you're the Cardinals.
Sparks cannot get it to go. 3 for 9 from the free throw line. In this second half, Ball State is 10 of 14 at the stripe. By the way, that was the 4th foul on Potter. So Potter has 4. Suter and Elmer also have 4. Woolfolk's already out of the game with 5. Sparks sees one go through.
So Cardinals, Travis Steele is going to call a timeout, set up the press offense.
That's the floater break here in the second half. 6-point game. Miami clinging to the lead in a rivalry matchup as both teams look for a 2-0 Mid-American Conference start.
Popeyes has the wing game on lock for your watch party. With 8 crispy, bold Louisiana wing flavors and bone-in or boneless, you just might have everyone chanting MVP in your direction.
Have that chicken from Popeyes.
You could just watch ESPN, but why not tap in? Tap into peak fandom. Tap into who's hot, who's who, and who's got the takes. Tap into fast friends. Tap into the thing that becomes your thing, that becomes everything. Tap into an entire world of sports. Tap into an entire world of sports. ESPN.
The Supercopa de España. A battle for glory.
Well, it is showtime. 2 semi-finals.
The magic of the big teams with all their stars. And the drive of those who seek to surprise.
This is an incredible tale.
The World Super Cup, meanwhile, Desert Storm.
Wednesday and Thursday, the semi-finals, and Sunday, the grand final. For the love of football.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000 plus out-of-market games and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
Mid-American Conference basketball on ESPN is brought to you in part by Ball State Financial, your hometown credit union. Reach plumbing, call the best, and flush the rest. IU Health, get back in the game with expert orthopedic and sports medicine care in Muncie. And American Pest Professionals, tackle your pest problems with our Ball State special. 72-66 in the Redbird rivalry. Miami has the lead and the basketball.
Well, if you're the Cardinals, you want to try to get at least one trap. You can afford to be aggressive. You've only got 4 team fouls, so you're eventually going to have to send them in the bonus.
And now Peter Suter calls a timeout.
Oh.
1 left for Miami now. Ball State still has 3 timeouts to burn.
Good job of denying all the way around that time, forcing to take a timeout. And what a luxury if you're Travis Steele, the guys that you can put on the line. Yeah, they don't get there a lot, but you got some really good free throw shooters. Ipsaro, 93%, Kraft, 85, Suter, 81, Makai Cooper at 64%, although he was a 77% free throw shooter last year.
But Coach Steele has to worry about foul trouble on his end as well. Woolfolk's fouled out. Suter, Elmer, Potter with 4 apiece.
Again, not the end of the world, that foul on Fat Hill, because that's just the team's 5th.
And his first personal.
Your preference would still be to allow him to get it in and then try to get a trap, see if you can get a steal, but you can't waste time.
Ipsaro, Suter to Cooper. Birch almost got him and fouls him. So now no more fouls to give.
So you're at that interesting time here, right? It's a 2-possession lead, minute 18. It doesn't appear that they're going to foul and try to extend this game. Let's see.
DJ Birch all over Makai Cooper, and can Birch get there? Instead fouls.
Well, that's the guy, if you're the Cardinals, you'd want to put at the line. Cooper 11 of 17, but as I mentioned, he was 77% last year as a freshman.
Yeah, Miami just 4 of 7 today from the free throw line. They make 9 per game. They do shoot at a 72% clip, 6th in the conference. So when they do get there, they're pretty efficient overall as a team. You rattled off some of the individual numbers.
The most important thing, if you're Ball State, you've got to box out. I mean, if you look at Suter and Ian Elmore, they're not mailing it in, right?
No.
Watch Suter.
8-point game, just over a minute. It's go time for Ball State. Pearson going to the free throw line.
And that's Potter's 5th. Or did they get somebody on the reach?
They got somebody on the reach. They get Ipsaro. So it saves Potter.
Yeah, Red Hawks came out in the zone in that possession. Didn't want to give up a 3. Everybody was favoring the 3-point line. Happy to give up a drive.
$20 for 29 at the line today as a team for Ball State.
That allows Michael Lewis to sub defense. Set up the press, same formula.
Back and forth between a 6 and an 8-point game. That's where this game has hovered for the majority of the second half. Ball State was saying that he fell. The officials disagree and say a trip. And a foul on Hill.
Now let's take a look at it.
It looks like they got Hill with the arm before Birch fell over Cooper. Oh, Hill did get Cooper with the foot. You said it, Cooper had come in just 65%, but he's made each of his last 3 free throws in crunch time. At this point, you start looking maybe for a 3 for Ball State to try and cut into this 6 to 8 swing here.
I mean, you got to start thinking about it, right? Because they have such good free throw shooters. But if it's there, if you can get a quick 2, I mean, you still have 3 timeouts for your Michael Lewis and try to set up a press and get a steal. Either way, you've got to go quick.
Under a minute, 8-point deficit.
Red Hawks stay zone.
Pearson takes the 3. Off the mark, and Elmer the rebound.
Really good job that time by Ipsaro, contesting without fouling.
No foul here from Ball State. Down 8. There it is from Hernandez. Cooper misses it. Sparks his 15th rebound.
Now you got to have a 3.
Gorosito knows it. Launches way downtown. Well short. Pearson tipping the rebound up, and it's going Ball State's way. After Ball State had felt the highest of highs, so road win against Kent State to open up the MAC season.
Watch Gorosito here in the corner.
Get a tough MAC opponent here at home in Miami. That's one of the hottest offenses in the league as the inbounds pass to Pearson's off of Elmer's hands.
Great job of scouting there. Did you see Ipsaro knew right where Gorosito was cutting?
Watts flings it for Gorosito, the fadeaway 3. Sparks ties a career best 16th rebound and goes through for 2. Coach Lewis calls a timeout, down 6 with 17.9.
Well, Payton Sparks ties his career high. That's his 16th rebound to go with 18 points in a season high 29 minutes. And you are forced at this point to create some type of turnover, and Miami's done a really good job handling it, Nick.
They have. Miami today, only 7 turnovers. Coach Steele said that we can score whenever we want, but we want to see really good ball control and ball handling. They've done exactly that.
Yeah, they have.
Game reset. Both teams are going to shoot the double bonus the rest of the way. Possession arrow favors Miami. 2-1 timeouts, Ball State to Miami.
And Mick, you mentioned those 7 turnovers versus the Cardinals' 13. What that equates to is a 15-6 differential for the Red Hawks. And those are all big in a 6-point game.
Miami still has one timeout if they need to use it here on the baseline with Suter. Birch almost got the steal. He fell out of bounds with it in the corner. And they're going to take a look at this one to see if it went off Miami. Ooh. To watch the legs of Cooper. It hit Cooper's leg. It looked like it hit Cooper's leg, but did Birch then touch it before it went out?
My initial reaction is that it did hit Birch's leg. Of course, the call on the floor was Miami basketball.
Right. Does that hit Birch's leg after it hits Cooper's? Be hard to overturn.
Yeah, it didn't take long. They said Miami basketball.
Similar situation, try to trap in the corner.
Yeah, and I mean the benefit here, it's an awkward place to throw the ball in from. But if you don't get a steal, you almost can't even afford to wait on that trap. You just got to foul immediately.
And before the inbound even takes place, Hill's called for a foul.
Well, the first free throw is a big one. Either way, if you make one of these, it's a 3-possession game.
And Psarro does exactly that.
Yeah, that should do it.
You're putting one of the best free throw shooters in the conference on the line. Psarro today 3 of 4 from there. 93%. Cashes in on both.
It's going to be a big win for Travis Steele's ball club. Starting conference play 2-0. Getting that luxury of a road W.
Hill's up to 20 points. Cooper back to Suter, and Hill was able to get Cooper before the pass. But you're right, this is a big win for Miami. It puts them at 10-4, stay at the top of the league, 2-0 record. And this Red Hawks team, they can score with anybody, but as you had said, Coach Steele wanted to see that defense. Yep, Ball State scored 72, but when Miami's needed to have stops, it's happened.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at all the foul trouble that they were in tonight, right? I mean, guys came in, contributed, and for a young team, relatively young, you're talking about a lot of sophomores. When it got tight in here, every time the Cardinals made a run, these guys answered. And oh man, is it nice to have Cam Kraft on your squad.
Yeah, didn't hurt. Hernandez with 3 to shoot, lofts it up, rolls out, and that does it from Muncie. Game 112 goes to Travis Steele and Miami. Red Hawks 2-0.